here's the start of the game. Who do you like in this matchup, Aqua?
Well, I can't say I've seen Patron versus Mech Mage, especially this kind of version of Patron played at all, really. It's a matchup that you don't see very often anymore because Mech Mage kind of cycled out. But I think the Mech Mage kind of has a little bit of the edge here because the Patron Warrior doesn't have the explosive power it used to have, and the Mech Mage, if it can keep the board early on, will just overwhelm him.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Whirlwinds are going to be really key here. And he does have one. He does have Whirlwind Execute and a Ghoul, so I think Robin might be okay, actually, combined with the Brawl for turn 5.
Yeah, the Brawl is a big card in this matchup. It's going to have a lot of impact because if he does get a good Brawl off, it's going to be very hard for the Mech Mage to replenish the board because they have no card draw mechanic apart from that Gorilla Bot now. But he is developing a steady board right now and kind of playing it into Robin's hands, especially if he gets a good Brawl off.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how he's gonna deal with this card. The 2/3 that gets the Enrage is kind of rough. It sort of stops the Whirlwind. Not that you'd maybe want to Whirlwind this early, but his options are very limited. Even the Ghoul now. The Ghoul kind of is an issue because he would run the 2/1 in, ping, and then suddenly the Tauren Warrior gets extra damage. Oh, is he going to Whirlwind Execute this early? I suppose that's okay if he has Coin Brawl.
Yeah, I mean, if he feels this is a lot of pressure, and it doesn't really feel like too much pressure at the moment, he could get away with it. I mean, he's going to take 4 damage from these minions. He's going to heal for 2 anyway from Hero Power. He does have Coin Brawl, like you said. I think there might be some... It might be worth just holding off a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is okay. Just clear the board. Because for all you know, their hand's pretty small. You know they've only got 3 and then 4 cards on the draw. They might not have something to follow up with so quickly. But the Warrior's definitely looking for a weapon. Obviously, Death Spite would be amazing, but the Fiery War Axe would be reasonable as well. And, you know, if you can just call the cards, you can call them. What can I say? So the Death Spite's huge now, because then suddenly, what does Roy actually do?
Yeah, this is kind of flipped on it's kind of flipped over to Robin's favour now. Death Spite is something I kind of forgot to mention when I'm talking about the matchup. That will definitely swing things in the Patron's favour.
Yeah, there's something to be said for potentially like Ping Pass.
Ping Pass.
Or maybe like Gnome Frostbolt. Because what you want to do is you want to try and guarantee the 5 damage from the Blast Mage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a good turn 5 play, usually. Clockwork Gnome into Blast Mage kind of guarantees it. But it looks like he will go for just a ping here and just kind of...
So the idea here then, instead, he wants to just bait the weapon out. So the weapon goes... Because this turn he cannot play Patrons because the coin's gone. So he wants to bait the weapon out before Patrons are played. But I don't think he needs to, and then this sort of sets up the Goblin Blast Mage for him.
So Blast Mage is actually not going to hit anything, but it's going to put on a lot of pressure, unless he decides to go for the Annoyatron here, which I don't think you really want to. I think you need the body, right?
I wouldn't mind the Blast Mage and then taunt up the 2/1. That would be pretty awesome, right?
But do you want to keep the Spear Part for Antonidas?
Yeah, but the problem is, you know, your board gets cleared this turn.
Yeah, that's true.
And 100% the board's gone. So if you taunt it, it makes it a little bit more awkward to deal with.
And it looks like he agrees. He's hovering over that. And he taunts it up. In a Rage is going to be able to deal with this issue, but of course, like you said, it does make things a little bit more awkward.
Yeah, I mean, if he enrages, then attacks, then the Whirlwind effect from the Death Spite does nothing, which is nice again. So it just makes everything janky. And using an Inner Rage on a 1 health, like on a 2/1, you don't want to use that in Patron. You want the Inner Rage to do something a little bit better, either draw cards from Acolyte or mainly create an easier duplication of the Patron Warriors.
I think one thing Roy will need to draw is a Gorilla Bot. If he draws a Gorilla Bot next turn, an Ultron Gorilla Bot will be very strong, or at least a Shredder, because low fab. Oh wow! So he's not even gonna. Wait, what?
Yeah, the attack's too weak. That's the problem.
He could have.
Oh, double Blast Mage though. Wow.
I guess he does have the Brawl. He's sitting on the Brawl, so he feels that he can be a little bit more patient.
I'm surprised he's actually made this play specifically.
What, the Blast Mage?
Yeah, well, this ordering, I probably would have liked the Blast Mage into the Loatheb, then play the other Blast Mage for another 5. Because if he couldn't deal with the board previously that well, then you make it small enough to make Brawl still bad, but big enough to still be a threat.
Well, if Brawl keeps alive the Annoyatron, things are still a bit shaky, right?
Yeah, but it's not 5/4, is it?
That's true, yeah.
That's the thing. Whereas if he traded Blast Mage in, you still do 5 to face, and you create just 2 minions on board. So then what does he do again? Like, it's still a problem, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Because the 2/1's still taunted.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Actually, you would have got a lot of damage there and just made an awkward brawl, or maybe a situation where he wouldn't have brawled.
Well, you couldn't. You can't just brawl 2 minions because he's only on 6 mana. So, this is nice. So I kind of like Frostbolt Face here because you can then just Antonidas taunt next turn.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
And if you Frostbolt Face, what are you actually afraid of him doing with 7 mana? Like nothing.
You've seen an execute already, one execute, so it can't be on the back of your mind thinking, oh, he's gonna have a second execute. I like.
The thing is, if you Frostbolt, that's 3, 4, 5, 6 from the. Oh, okay, he's not gonna attack. He's not gonna Frostbolt even. He may be saving it, but I don't know. I think it was probably worthwhile to make this turn a bit worse.
Going for a whirlwind here. He's already
used
a whirlwind.
What would he do this turn now if it was Frostbolt?
Yeah, he just wouldn't be able. He would have to whirlwind. Gets a battle rage here as well. This actually works out. Oh, he can, cruel task would probably be better, right?
I just like battle rage in a rage.
No,
whoa, it's not battle rage.
Wow, no battle rage. Don't you like 2 cards?
Does this Patron Warrior not like cards?
He just doesn't like drawing cards. That's fine. That's how he wants to play, I suppose. So you now have to Tony Taunt.
Yeah, and that now feels bad. Whereas if it was Frostbolted, maybe he couldn't have played all the minions, he could have taunted something else.
Yeah, he could have taunted the Mech Warper, at least. Now he gets a double Battle Rage.
Now he has to Battle Rage. Battle Rage, trade, hope for an execute.
Well, he's got 2 shots at drawing. He gets 4 cards. So the chance of him drawing it is pretty decent, I suppose. But now, not so good. He's got Death's Bite. Nah, that's not enough, is it? Wait, you don't want to draw more cards?
He can kill it though.
Yeah,
just because. Yeah. I mean, this is still fine, but because he's only got 1 fireball, but there's 9, 10. He's 1 off lethal.
So another Frostbolt will do it here.
And Mech Weapon.
Yeah, that's not it. But you know he's very close, like you said, to finishing him off. He just needs to draw another spell. Frostbolt's going to be great here as well. It's going to protect his board even further. So now Robin's going to have to rely on minions and other kind of things like execute to be able to clear this board.
Oh, okay. So do you play the Armor Smith with the Ghoul and then equip the War Axe?
Yes. for sure. Wait, what? No, you need to do that first, right? You're going to do it that way. Ghoul, then equip the War Axe, you gain 3 armor, and then you can trade into the into the Mech Warper, and then...
So you gain like 6 armor overall.
And that's 2, 4... And you can still armor up as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that seems like it's worth it. If you're going to know that the Mech Mage is only out here is going to be through damage from hand.
Yeah, and the thing is as well... Yeah, okay. Why would you not play the Ghoul though?
I guess he doesn't want it to be pinged.
Well, yeah, but if the 1/1 runs in, there's 1 armor. If it then pings, then there's 2 more armor, and he would have gained 1 more armor. So it would be an additional 4 armor if he pinged.
Oh, man.
Oh,
what a withdraw.
This is the 3/4 for 4 play.
Yeah, unfortunately for him. But he does clear up the Unstable Ghoul. He just gives him 2 more armor. And he just lets his his mech get cleared by the weapon as well. Grom can come down, put some real pressure on as well. Oh man.
Kind of surprised he's making that trade actually. He could have just not traded because now Grom, although Grom does die to Fireball, I guess the idea is that he it's one less Fireball to face. You can keep arming up, but he could have just Fire War Axe and armored up then.
I think this is game over for the Mech Mage.
Yeah, he's got Fireball Frostbolt, which only takes away all of the armor the warrior's got. It's still on 7 health, and he can just keep armoring up every time.
I mean, what's he going to be waiting for here? Dr. Boom may be able to turn things in his favour, but if you have to Fireball Grom, which is your win condition with this deck at the moment, you're not going to win, unfortunately. But he's thinking about it.
He doesn't have any burn left.
He doesn't have
He's used
board,
two
right?
Fireballs, he's used 2 Fireballs, 2 Frostbolts. How does he kill him?
Yeah, with no board, he has just no chance, unfortunately. Dr. Boom would be the only thing that can really leverage stuff for him, but I think it's too late for Dr. Boom to really be an impact here. He can just keep armoring up. He gets 2 card draws here. And there's Dr. Boom for Robin.
So after seeing the Fireball, there's literally no way that you can do this much damage to kill him, so pretty safe, probably going to be game. And again, I just think playing into the... Obviously losing the Brawl sucked, losing the 1 in 3, but playing into the Brawl was a bit rough.
Yeah. I mean, Robin having the Brawl available to him as well definitely changed kind of the dynamic of the matchup. If he didn't have... And having the Brawl in his deck, I suppose, I guess it's a tech choice that has paid off, especially in a winner's semi-finals for this tournament.
Yeah. What's he hoping for from Shredder?
Doomsayer.
Doomsayer face?
Doomsayer or bust. The end is coming. No, it's not. The end is not coming.
Remember hit for 4 on the 2-1?
Nice. So
I hit for 4 on face, called 4.
And he can just armor up.
Yeah, just doesn't matter now. There's nothing the mage can do, especially with the Shredder as well. I mean, how does the mage won't run Flame Strike in his deck? We know that for sure. So there's nothing that he can do. And even if he did run Flame Strike, how do you actually kill the warrior ever?
All right then. So it looks like the first game's going to go to Robin. Quite a convincing win there. Even though I called the Mech Mage would probably have the advantage, overall I think Robin's deck kind of really was catered to fighting someone like a Mech Mage.
Yeah, I think there are a few things though, like the not taunting up, the not Frostbolt, so he could then Antonidas taunt the following turn onto the 2-1. He chose to clear instead, and then the playing the Blast Mage into Lotheb, and then having to trade away into it kind of sucked. Like if you just ran the Blast Mage in, you still do 5 to face. And you replicate the same board that he didn't really want to brawl before, and you can't really brawl 2 minions on a board unless like you're about to die and one's Ragnaros and one's a 1/1 because you just have to take that chance. But realistically, he couldn't have brawled, which then alters like the rest of the play because he couldn't deal with that board the previous turn. So you have to make the presumption that he won't deal with it this turn, and that would have maybe kept enough pressure on. Whereas the brawl leaving just the Annoyatron alive was pretty horrendous because he just lost 10 power off the board.
Yeah, he lost a lot of minions. And again, being very passive with his Frostbolts, not protecting himself from the Death Spy, was definitely a costly decision. And that's one thing I've noticed about some of these players in this tournament. They can be quite passive with some of their players. I'm sure there's been situations in the event as well so far where we've gone, if you had done this, you might be able to keep the board. So a very different style of play coming from these different players. More patient, but ultimately not being as rewarding.
Yeah, and we can see that this is Roy's list is locked in, which is the mid-range Paladin. Very standard. The Justicar in there just to win the sort of late-game control matchups because the propping 2 minions a turn is pretty important. The one Murloc Knight, one Keeper, which is sort of becoming the standard in mid-range at least at the moment, as both the Murloc Knight has great value and the Keeper of Uldaman can swing the game pretty hard as well. So all the usuals in there, nothing too crazy. Yeah, it seems pretty standard actually. Just the one equality and one zombie child is reasonable. and the one True Silver. True Silver is a card that we see get cut quite a lot in these Paladin decks, just to keep a one up because everyone's loving Karkama at the moment.
And if you're going to be playing 2 Quartermasters, I think Justica's pretty much a given, right? I wouldn't play 2 Quartermasters unless I had Justica in my deck because I just feel it's a bit too clunky. And now we're going to see the aggro Shaman coming from Robin.
Yep, there he is, Sir Finley.
Doing work.
Love that guy. So
Getting that Hunter hero power every time.
That's all you want. Yeah, this is your typical hyper-aggressive deck. And the Paladin might actually struggle to beat this because other than Consecrate, and a lot of the minions don't actually die from Consecrate. So the charged minions sort of do their job anyway. But like the Totem Golem, the Trog, and even Finley doesn't die, especially the Feral Spirits. But a lot of the time you just get the early damage in, so Consecrate doesn't matter. And then you just destroy them with spells. I mean, it's a deck you've played a lot, right?
Yeah, it's a very all-or-nothing deck, the Burst Shaman. You either draw well and you kill them very quickly, or they sustain quite early on and then you can't do anything. But this deck is a lot of fun to play, and it can just take a win out of nowhere because of the potential it has and the reach it has with those spells. So maybe that's why Robin's got it in his lineup. I'm pretty sure Sword has it in his lineup as well.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice start going into the get the Golem down quick. And then you can still play the Lepinome next turn and then go into the Feral Spirit. So he could have done that the other way round and coin Feral Spirit, but obviously this way he gets the 3/4 on the board earlier versus the Lepinome on its own. And now it's just like, well, just I guess I have to play maybe he wants to Rock Biter.
I quite like a Rock Biter here.
Because Muster kills you otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I prefer the
Rock Biter. Ooh, actually no, I don't like this. I prefer the Trog. The Trog trade, if he musters into the Golem, then you just Feral Spirit and the Trog gets the buff, and suddenly the board just destroys the muster.
Yeah, that's actually a good point as well. Follow the rules, gonna come down. That minion's gonna be used as a token clearer for now, I think. Interesting. Okay.
No, this is fine. It's just gonna Rock Biter again.
I don't like throwing away another Rock Biter though.
It's okay if you're building the board up though. Normally you like have to hold on to Rock Biter if you're reliant on the Doomhammer to win the game. But at the moment he's looking pretty good. He's dealt with everything that the Paladin's thrown out, and now it's turn 4. Even the True Silver's probably going to go into the Trog now.
Yeah, it's just 10 damage of burst gone with that Doomhammer. But, of course, he's playing to the strength of the situation. Feral Spirits can come down now and kind of lock out the Paladin for at least a little while because it makes Consecrate quite weak. And he has to use a True Silver Charge just to get through one of the taunts.
Yeah, and the Equality probably isn't going to do too much at the moment either. Murloc Knight, same. You kind of want to play that on at least turn 6 just to get one hero power off at the very least. And now suddenly, you know, he's got 3 mana. He'd probably see Wolf Rider next turn, depending on what he draws, and push for more damage. But Ancestral Knowledge is going to be nice, just to refill the hand a little bit. And if he draws into Lava Shock, then like the Overload isn't really a problem either.
Yeah, that's even better if he gets that. Depends what he draws, I suppose, what he wants to do here. It's quite tough for Roy. If he playing Tempo BGH is fine because there's no Dr. Booms, there's nothing like that in the deck. BGH won't have a target. It looks like he just slams the Murloc Knight down, hoping that Robin will feel that he needs to deal with that card and invest some minions into it. And the Horse Rider's going to allow that pretty easily, right?
Yeah, I think you can. Well, yeah. I mean, I was weighing up whether you just run the Wolf Rider in instead. Wolf Rider and the Golem.
And keep the Lepino?
Sure.
He's got 2 ways he can do it. He can do it that way and keep.
Then you might keep the Divine Shield on the on the Horse Rider. That's all.
Yeah. So he's got Horse Rider, Lepinome he can do, or he can do Wolf Rider into an Arcane, into the Totem Golem. Or he's just gonna ignore him. I'd be surprised if he did. Do you really want to leave a Murloc Knight there to do what he wants? No, he just decides to clear it. That's fine. Yeah, he had a couple of ways he could have done that. I think this way is fine because he's using the shield for what it's used for, right? To be able to trade efficiently.
Yep, and again, there's no fantastic play. Buffing up the 1/1 is nice. Something that the keeper's really good. The flexibility from keeper, the older man's nice. But again, it's just like it's very passive and doesn't actually deal with the board. Oh, and he has Earthshock if he really wants to get rid of that 3/3 as well.
Wow. So now this is starting to look really deadly. Lay on hands. We'll be able to heal him later on, but it's so slow. I wonder if he's gonna lava. No, you just Wolf Rider here, and then you can Lava Burst next turn. And let's see what his health is now.
Yeah, I think at this point, with Lava Burst in hand and an Earthshock to get through any taunts, you want to just rely on just pushing for the final bit of damage this turn, because the Trog's going to get buffed by Lava Burst as well. So, so he'll be on how much mana next turn? He'll be on 7, but -3. So he'll be on -2, sorry. So he'll be on 5. Yeah, so he can just Lava Burst and either Earthshock if required, or just totem up for potential spell power for an extra damage.
And
if required.
He has to clear the Wolf Rider here as well. Oh, he can Elder it. That's fine as well. Yeah, that's a lot better actually. So one more, a crackle or something, and this could be over.
Yeah, any form of burn. I think this is game. What we got?
Doomhammer. Doomhammer gets him closer.
Yeah, Doomhammer's fine. It's not. Well, the problem is it's sort of fine, but we can see Lay on Hands is in hand. But he's got enough health to actually be okay, I think.
Yeah, and the problem with using those Rock Biters now is, although we got the board, which was fine, and it was correct, but having Rock Bite available to you when you get Doomhammer is ridiculous. It's just so powerful.
Yeah, but the thing now is he's put so much damage on. If he Lay on Hands, that's all he can do. So he goes to what? He'll go to 12 now.
And to get a crackle still finishes off, right?
Yeah, and he's still got the burst, so it's still fine. And there's nothing else he can do. Lay on Hands, and then trade away with the minions. But now you're relying on just getting your burn out of hand.
Anti-heal bot. So if Robin doesn't draw a win, he could be put out of reach potentially with that anti-heal bot.
The odds on drawing burn pretty high though.
Yeah, lightning bolt.
Second Doomhammer calling it.
Oh no, that would be tragic. Ow, that's not burn.
Okay, now this is actually a problem.
So
if he just had, he could roll for the totem to try and win. But he's one off. That kind of sucks.
And this can be the problem with this deck sometimes. You're in kind of range to finish them off, and then you kind of top deck in that last spell to finish them, and if you don't get it, it's pretty rough.
Good work, chat. That's a very good point. He could have shot his totem golem.
He could have, actually. That's a very good point.
Yeah, good work, chat. You are far better than us mate casters. The Earthshock on the totem golem was actually lethal.
Very interesting. Good job, chat. Well, Robin didn't spot it, so
yeah,
that's a shame for him. He could have had a win there. So you definitely anti-heal bot, right?
Yeah, the heal bot. I think he's just working out where he wants to trade, and also I imagine he'll want to play the Coghammer as well, just to make it even more difficult for this Doomhammer to actually do any work.
Okay. So heal bot comes down. No Rock Biter. Rock Bite would still change a lot at this point if you could draw into it, because you would have 10 damage. You'd have 15 damage, 16 with a spell power totem. But that taunt is definitely going to lock out Robin as well. I think this is probably going to be over for him.
Yeah, double Earthshock isn't really what you wanted to see for that second draw there. And the healing totem definitely does nothing. Is there anything? Let's think. He can stay alive if he really wants to.
I guess
he's
just
not
goes
dead.
dead.
It's just that
So he just hopes for crackle, I would imagine. No.
Paladin needs 2 damage though, right?
Paladin needs 3.
Oh no, 1 damage.
1 damage. Paladin needs
he just
1
juggles.
Damage. Yeah, he just needs a juggle.
Just juggles for lethal.
Unless he... So he actually needed to kill the zombie chow, I suppose. Oh no, it would have only given 1 health. He needed a spell power totem. That's what he needed to be able to double Earthshock. And Roy seems pretty happy with himself. He can equality. So he... Oh, yeah, I could even increase his amount of knives he'll get. So this is definitely going to be
Yeah,
lethal.
so he just guarantees lethal, yeah, with the equality. Which is fine, because if one hits, then you can spawn enough minions to like hit twice, which guarantees.
Alright, so Roy's going to tie this game up. The aggro shaman falls short after, unfortunately, Robin and us missed a lethal opportunity. But
yeah, it happens.
It happens, guys.
Look, let us off. If you guys ever try casting stuff, you've got to think of a couple of things, and sometimes it can distract you.
Please forgive us.
Yeah, so that's going to be even up. I mean, that was so close as well. Obviously, even regardless of the miss lethal, like, he was really close in the obvious sense as well. So, bit unfortunate there, but, 1-1. So we do have a few more games left of this set of Roy versus Robin. So, yeah, I mean, what were the standout decks yesterday? I can't remember from Roy.
Mech Mage stood out for me because it was kind of an unusual pick. I think he just had like a mid-range druid as well without Scenarius, if I remember rightly. And of course he had his mid-range paladin. I'm not quite sure what else off the top of my head. I know Robin definitely has secret paladin. He has his patron, which he's used, his aggro shaman, and he had. Does he have druid himself? I'm pretty sure he has druid himself.
Yeah, I think a lot of the players have brought druid this tournament. I think because it's so like standard, if you know what I mean. Like,
it's really,
it's a pretty like straight up deck, and it isn't too crazy. But do you see the zoo list now, which is yeah, it looks pretty standard. The Peddler's obviously included now. It's the Void Caller zoo, so nothing too aggressive, but more of the zoo to mid range level with the Mal'Ganis and the Dr. Boom we all know and love.
So I wonder if he's going to stick with the aggro shaman then. I think it would be a pretty good thing to stick with. Maybe just squeeze a win. I mean, the mid paladin is probably one of the harder matchups, I suppose, because of all the healing potential it had. But even then, it was very close. So I imagine Robin's probably going to stick with the aggro shaman here and just try and squeeze a win with it, because it's just one of those decks that can find a win easily. But it's also one of it's almost like a coin toss sometimes. I'm just going to win with this deck because I drew all my burst, or I'm not going to win this deck with this deck because I didn't draw all my burst. Yeah,
it's just a snowball deck. I mean, a lot of it does rely on the mulligan, as with a lot of aggro decks, actually. You mulligan for the low drops, of course, and hope to snowball from there. But it's going to be the Shaman versus the Warlock, so see if you can get a little bit luckier there and maybe focus a tiny bit more to make the best plays. And there's the Rockbiter. I kind of like keeping it still. So just to remove an early minion for 1 mana. Oh, he's throwing it away. He's scared. He's like, no, if I draw Doomhammer, I want Rockbiter later on.
I need these cards. I like keeping Rockbiter on the coin specifically because it gives you a turn 1 answer to minions, especially in a deck like Zoo. But he decided to throw it away, and Lephinom's is going to be the turn 1 play here.
Yep, and having that Lava Shock around isn't too bad either. Just to clear anything you get from... Because there's a lot of overload in this deck. And that's part of the point that the deck's sort of come back a little bit now, because of the Trog getting buffed from Overload. But the Lava Shock actually is worth some play now because of cards, as we can see, like Lava Burst and Crackle, that will give you some overloaded mana crystals. The coin into the Horse Rider is nice, so it guards the Lephinome, because even though it's silenced, having the minion on board, hit poking for 2 every turn is still worth quite a lot.
Yep, that's basically what he wants. With that, he just needs to keep as much pressure on board as possible, because the Zoolock is going to need to fight for board to win this game. So if he can just keep minions about and just keep doing damage, that's great for him. Didn't get the Taunt Totem. Taunt Totem would have been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Earthshock is actually nice though, because you can just run a 2 attack minion in if you want. Or he's just going to let the trade happen, which is fine. It's a little bit open to Argus though.
Yeah, Argus would be a bit of a nuisance, but Knife Juggler egg seems pretty decent as well, and then you can Argus the egg up with the Imp, so the Imp actually does still do stuff.
Yeah, and he has just seen an Earthshock as well, so and he didn't see the second Earthshock in the last game, I don't think. He saw the first one and that was it. Yeah. So maybe he doesn't know there's 2 Earthshocks in his deck, because Aggro Shaman normally only runs 1, not 2.
That's true. I mean, I think putting 2 Earthshocks into a tournament aggro shaman's not a bad idea, just because of all the different types of decks you'll be facing.
Oh, and he does snipe off one of the 2/1s, which is pretty big actually, because suddenly the Argus looks very, very scary. And if he has to use Crackle to clear off the Juggler, which he might well do, I'm interested to see whether he uses Crackle over Lava Shock though, because Lava Shock does remove the crystal locks, but Crackle can hit pretty hard. So
he can use Abusive. He could Crackle Face for the spell power and then Abusive Lepino. And then trade.
This is also fun.
Yep, that's what I figured he'd do. I mean,
yeah, when he was hovering over the Crackle, I was like, don't you dare Crackle that Juggler.
He's got 2 health, man.
I know. Crackle, not even when you roll low, it hits pretty, hard enough on 2 health.
Ooh, that's a pretty juicy draw there. Void Terror. He's going to be able to fish for another card here, and he's going to be able to pop that egg, make a 3/5, have a 4/4, and then go into the turn 6. He can Argus those 2 minions and create a nice brick wall in front of Robin.
Yep, this is definitely going to look rough now. Is he going to... Oh, he's going to pop the egg like this. I still kind of like the Void Terror, to be honest. Because you're not really... In this deck, you're not bothered about stopping Shaman with high attack. You high attack minions, you just want the low attack minions in the high health.
The only problem with this is he leaves 2 mana floating, and he can't tap at this point. I don't think. Tapping is just not an option.
Yeah, I think you do have to guard your health here. It's like playing against Hunter, because you know the damage is coming. Then you can't be a bit crazy, especially when you're already way behind on health anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of a weak turn for the Shaman there.
Yeah, I think he does just have to keep whacking face then now. There's not much. He can't exactly trade. If he trades, he loses.
Yep, just gonna pass. Totem pass. This is one of the weaknesses of this deck. Sometimes, yeah, because you're just holding so much burst damage in your hand. If you haven't got enough to kill him, sometimes you make very, very passive plays, and it can really punish you. So he gets Argus here. That Earth Shock's definitely gonna help out, but you might have to invest some spells into dealing with the other Argus target, which is not what you want to do because you just want to hit face with them.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many spells in the deck, and he's got no minions. He might just save everything for face.
Yeah, you might have to. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, maybe not now.
Doomhammer Earthshock, clear out the Dark Peddler, and then next turn, you have potential lethal with a good draw.
Yeah, this is nice as well.
I mean,
this is good. And then with Lava Shock as well, you can unlock some crystals depending on what you draw if you need to crackle off.
Yeah. So all he needs is another Lava Burst, another Crackle, a Rock Biter.
Oh my god, do you risk it?
You have to do it, right? For sure.
Yeah, I like it.
15 health, you're playing against Aggro Shaman. You just have to do it.
50-50 chance at winning the game. All in.
Just because there's so many kind of like high risk, high reward variables to Aggro Shaman, you might as well take them yourself as
You've
well.
seen 2 Earth Shocks. What are you scared of?
I mean, did you get a flame imp? No, Malgan. Oh,
look at that
loved
it. We saw this from Roy yesterday. Very, very visual, showing his emotions.
That's what I like, Roy. You know, he's
now the problem.
Yep, you're gonna have to draw cards here first, I think.
What can he draw? He needs to kill Mal'Ganis, that he can't Earthshock, and deal with an 8/9.
Because then, well, he can lava. Yeah, I think it's just over actually. The 8/9.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana, even with Lava Shock, to unlock the crystals. He doesn't have enough to do what I think he needs to do. So he Lava Shocks and then Lava Burst, but he takes 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he takes 14. So GG. Been locked out again.
Oh wait, no, the buff is the buff from Mal'Ganis will reduce the Void Terror.
Oh, it's one off. Sorry. Yeah, you're very right. Very, very right. One off. Oh my god, he's just gonna get Soulfire.
Oh,
Soulfire's the Void Walk. Okay.
That's really good as well. It protects him.
Yeah, but if there's burn, it still doesn't count, right?
the problem here is he can't use the Doomhammer to clear, so...
Yep.
Roy's going to take it. He took a very high-risk play there for 50-50, and it paid off, and he was able to get
50-50 is good odds, though, right?
Very
50-50
good odds.
to win the game, pretty much. Yeah, I'd take that. We won't play Hearthstone anymore. We will just flip coins every time to see who wins.
Some players might not take that risk. Some players might wait until, say, turn 9, or wait for an opportunity to trade into something. But... yeah, some players are less risky, more conservative. Definitely a good decision there from Roy.
Yeah, I think in that situation though, it was the only play, as he was under so much pressure. The Shaman had, I think, 2 or 3 cards in hand, and that could have all been burst. It could have been double crackle, lava shock, or something like, would have been a lot of damage to finish off the game, especially with the Doomhammer equipped. So it pretty much was all in on that Mal'Ganis, but he got it. So fair enough, not too bad at all.
So the aggro shaman still has to win a game. So we're going to see it again, see if he can find that win. I wonder if he'll queue it in the next deck, because he has to play the druid and he has to play the mech mage. So if he gets the mech mage, I'm not sure. Mech mage aggro shaman's not really a matchup I've seen.
Well, we're about to find out how it's going to go.
See, yeah, what happens.
Ooh, not a bad opener with Finley and the Trog. He just throws away the 1 Flame Tongue Totem.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
What's he get? Oh, Wolf Rider, okay. It's off coin, but still fine. I imagine we're going to see Finley get dropped first.
Yep, Finley is find you a better hero power. The Shaman hero power.
Oh, didn't get Hunter though.
So I guess you take tap.
Yeah, I guess you do. I guess life tap's fine.
Like, ideally, you want, when I play this deck, I want tap, steady shot, or worst case, or an ability that does damage if those 2 are not available. I would say tap is probably the second best thing you can get as a shaman, because you just, being able to tap at least once or twice, given that card draw, can just find that lethal for you a lot quicker.
Yeah, the only issue is that tapping also puts you in more sort of lethal range from another aggressive deck.
Yeah, that's true. But aggro shaman is high risk, high reward, right?
I guess.
Like you have to take a lot of risks with this deck anyway, and usually the risk will pay off because you can do so much damage from hand. What do you do here though? Do you tap? I think you do, right?
Hey, it feels bad to not play a minion though. Maybe you just Trog and hit in. Frostbolt does that. Oh, maybe you don't. You just got to be scared of Frostbolt, but I don't think you can just tap pass. It's kind of rough.
At least you're putting... I mean, those little Trogs tend to have taunt as well, right?
Yeah, but this turn's going to be pretty nice with Mech Whopper. Let's just throw all the minions on the board.
I have a lot of stuff now, and now you have to deal with it.
This is the problem with the Shaman deck, is that it can't deal with multiple minions well at all. Not even close. So now, although there's the Trog looks like it's going to be put to 1, how does the Shaman deal with this? Then you've got to just initiate a race, I guess, and hope it's enough.
Yeah, this is where Mech Mage will probably have the advantage, being able to develop these quick boards. Unlike Zoo takes time. It's a steady process developing the board, whereas Mech Mage cheats out the board. And now, once you get the Shaman fighting for board this heavily, it can get a bit rough. But he does deal with the situation very well.
Yeah, he does it as well as he can. Leaves the 1-1 versus the 2-2 on the board. I'm surprised he isn't going for Portal.
I guess Portal doesn't guarantee him a minion, but I mean, you can play...
You'll just want to play a blank 3-3, that's the problem. Guarantees you a turn 5 Rag, though. He's definitely got his turn 4 and 5 sorted pretty reasonably.
Yeah, that's a great Portal. I mean, you didn't get anything to play instantly, but Rag is definitely very dynamic card to get from that Portal. And it's going to help him in the race, right?
Yeah, and this is a rough turn for the Shaman. He can either Earthshock, pass, or tap, and this is when it starts getting a bit... bit ropey.
Yeah. Earthshock seems like the play here. Slow him down. And then Shredder's going to come down, he's going to have to deal with that. And then Rack's going to come down, and that's going to be the biggest problem for the Shaman deck. No hexes. He's going to have to be throwing spell damage at it to be able to do it, and the more spells he throws at Rag, the less chance he has winning anyway, because he needs them for face.
Yeah, and the problem is Shaman doesn't normally build up a big board, so the Rag hits are probably going to hit face a lot of the time anyway. And then, yeah, he has to equip the Doomhammer there. Oh, and Lothar as well.
Yeah, this is looking in so much in Roy's favour here. Gets to do a lot of damage to face this turn. Rag is probably going to stick around, and then... Oh, that's a good draw. That's not bad.
Yeah, I think he needs to Lightning Bolt the 4-3 now, though.
Yeah, deal with that. You can't
I think
have
you
the
Lightning
4-3.
Bolt first, because you want the Feral Spirits to die as like most difficult as possible.
Oh,
It's another 4-3, that kind of sucks.
You can Lava Shock it, hit it with his weapon, and then play Wolves, as far as I can tell. Yeah, because it'll be Lava Shock. Yeah, Lava Shock would have just gave him 2 mana.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can afford to take the damage and use the Swings of Doomhammer. I think he basically needs Rock Fighter now to have a chance.
Yeah, now you can just... Oh, Fireball to the hand as well, so you can just, like, Lothar now if he wants. Lock it any spells.
I just like Fireball, the 2-3, trade the 2-3.
And take 8?
And then play Portal. And just do another 8 to Fate, take him to 10. What's he going to do? There's just nothing he can do about the Rag at all. So you just keep clearing the board and let Rag finish him. He's not even close to death. And these opponents only got 2 cards. And he's not dead to double Rock Biter either, so that's important.
Looks like he just wants a 5-5. I do like that, though. Just doing 8 to face, be down to 10. Still can't deal with Rag. We'll have minions. Oh! Another 8 to face anyway. It's looking very, very bleak here. I don't think... There's no way Robin can win this. No way at all. You can't even play Wolf Rider Totem, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit rough. And the Lothar blocking out the Lava Shock, so there's 3 crystals he can't unlock this turn. So, definitely a little bit rough. Is there even a way out? He needs to play the minion, but he needs the minions to stay alive. But then the problem is it's a 1 health minion. He can just run Lothar in. And, okay, this is the best thing he can do, but we can see Fireball just ends the game.
So very, very quick series, really, or match at least, for the mage.
So unstable portal into Rag isn't bad, right?
That's a pretty
okay, I've heard. Pretty okay.
Alright, so Roy's going to go up 3-1 here. That Mech Mage taking a very convincing win because of the unstable portal. But things were looking pretty good for Roy before the unstable portal, I think. I think he could have still probably taken the game, but...
yeah, the Mech Warper into Coin, Clockwork Gnome, and the Chugga Chugga is, too many minions, and without Feral Spirit to at least contest them, the Shaman just can't deal with them at all. So that was the real issue there. And he cleaned it up as well as he could, but it cost him enough that the Mage was then consistently ahead. But then when you just portal into Rag, then yeah, whatever.
He had to Lava Burst the Mech Warper. When you Lava Burst in Mech Warpers, you're not in a winning position, yeah, especially with that deck. So Druid left to beat quite a few decks, and if there's one deck that can just probably take a win from nowhere, it's definitely Druid. So Roy's kind of put himself in quite a favourable position, and it's your favourite Druid deck of this tournament.
The Black Knight Druid, it's awesome. And again, like going back to just the Druid on the last deck, it's a nice last deck to have, because if you ramp, like if you draw the ramp, you're in such a good position, and then the more games you play, the chances of you drawing the ramp at least once get obviously higher the more games you play. So the fact that he has to stick on this deck for potentially 2 to 3 games, he's probably feeling pretty okay about it, because sometimes Druid just ramps and then Cambosian wins, which we all know. We all know how that feels. So yeah, I think he's doing pretty okay, leaving the Druid to last and in a pretty strong position here.
And yesterday we saw how much influence the Black Knight had over his win in a Druid mirror. So Black Knight was definitely played a key role into getting a victory against Sword, and we'll see if it'll have any impact in the next couple of games. Against Shaman, not so much, but against some of Robin's other decks, if he does find a win, it might do some work.
Yeah, what are you on about? In Shaman, you can just Black Knight the
totem.
Feral Spirit.
Oh, that's true.
All the totem, but yeah.
So
but you're right. The Shaman does have a really good opening hand here, though.
That's really strong.
Just needs maybe in this deck, the 2 Earth Shocks are actually gonna do a lot of work to just get through the double Druid of the Claw.
Yeah, just get through those taunts. And yep, this is a strong board, especially against a Druid. Unless he has an Aspirant, or maybe even a Living Roots, is going to be tough. These minions are going to do work.
Yeah, and it looks like this is one of those games where he doesn't draw the ramp and dies, because this is so much pressure. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, if we get some withdrawals from Robin, perhaps he'll be able to stabilize, because he does have a curve now.
Or you can draw Flame Tongue Totem. So now you just play Flame Tongue, because then, like, what do you kill? The Trogg or the Totem? You probably can't kill both as the Druid on 3 mana. Yeah, and he's already on 24, and he has Rock Bite, Lightning Bolt, Crackle in hand.
Yep, things are looking good for Robin so far. Oh, wow. Things are looking
excellent. Did you say if he withdraws?
If. A big if. And then he can just Lightning Bolt face, buff the Trogg, do loads of damage.
And again, it's the same issue of what do I actually kill here.
16 health, turn 3.
Yep.
And this is what this deck does well, given the opportunity. Just playing cards, hoping for the best.
So there's going to be 6 there. Oh, Lava Shock. So he can Lava Shock Crackle if he really wants.
Yeah, so that'll take him... So it won't kill him, but he'll be very close.
I think Totem's fine here. I don't... Oh, is he going for it? I don't know why.
He'll buff the Trogg.
I think he might need to use the Rock Biter. Because the problem is, if a taunt comes down, then the Rock Bite is not as good. Whereas you just want all the damage to face, right?
Yeah. Huh, he has a lot of decisions to make here. He can play passively, he can play super aggressively. And it'll very much depend on what Roy can do in response to which play is actually correct, I think. Roy clears his board next turn, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, you're scared of board clear than Druid of the Claw. So surely you want to use the Rock Biter now. Yeah, I like this. Yep. This is right. Because if Druid of the Claw comes down, the Rock Biter does 0 damage to face, and you're only bothered about face damage now.
And the Crackle can potentially finish him off next turn.
Yep, and he's not overloaded either.
So he gets another draw, and that could just be a Lightning Bolt, another Crackle, Lava Burst. There's a lot of options.
You can actually... Oh, okay. So he could clear the board with Swipe and Living Roots without using the minions, but he couldn't Hero Power. So he definitely needs to Hero Power just for that 1 extra health.
Unless he just Drakes, which should be interesting.
Oh, really? That's brave.
But do you just take some risks now?
Well, the problem is 5 damage dies to Lava Burst, right?
Yeah.
So you may, the way I would view it is you may as well remove Lava Burst as an out and reduce them as much as possible. There's an Earth Shock, which... Ooh, you still go for it. All or nothing, go. Oh! Oh, he got it! 6!
Wow.
Overkill, even if it Hero Powered, holy crap. Okay, so he's finally happy he can get that win with the Shaman, at last.
Shaman finally did its job, right? Just kill you very quickly.
It just took multiple tries.
It did. So now...
Look at those chairs again, I mean... You could live your life in that chair, it's crazy.
Well, so it could be a Druid Mirror now.
Yeah.
I would say that when it comes down to a Druid Mirror, Roy definitely has the edge. Black Knight will definitely do a lot of work in that matchup, but there's also Secret Paladin. So if I was Robin now, I'd definitely queue in the Secret Paladin. But yesterday, he had some terrible draws with that deck, and he just couldn't find a... He did actually beat Infi in the end, but the first 2 matches of that series, Robin was not looking like he was in a good place.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, he's got to realise that it actually just doesn't matter what deck he locks in, because he starts to win against Druid twice. So, yeah, you know, if he plays his Druid, then that's fine for the Druid Mirror. It's not like Last Hero Standing where you knock the opponent's deck out, you actually knock your own deck out. He's going to go for the Secret Paladin. I suppose maybe he just doesn't want to... he wants the best chance at potentially losing with the highest score. If that makes sense.
Yep, and then if he takes it down to a Druid Mirror, maybe nerves might come into play. Things become a little bit more shaky because the match can swing either side, depending on who ramps first and who gets the good draws, who gets the bad draws. So I like going with the Paladin first. It's just kind of a solid answer to a Druid deck. Although we say that, and we saw a Druid win earlier today against the mid-range Paladin, so maybe this Druid will find a way to defeat it. Black Knight can kill Tyrion as well, so Black Knight does have a couple of targets here. And there's an Argus in this deck as well, so again, opening up more... And Coghammer, so opening up a lot of things for Black Knight as well. So Black Knight won't be a wasted card, where it was a bit more of a wasted card last game.
Yeah, no, he could still get the use, but he's definitely not going to want to try and find it specifically.
Oh, no.
Because especially because Coghammer comes out so early most of the time.
Alright, so not a brilliant hand here for Roy, and he doesn't look too impressed with it either. Very slow, but the Innovate definitely going to be able to help him get something out soon, at least. Hero Power Pass, no Ramp, no Wild Growth, no Aspirant, and looking at Robin's hand, he has Minibot into Muster, into Coin, Low Feb Coin, and then followed into Sludge Belcher. He could even draw a 4-drop before then.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. The Innovates. Would you not innovate something here? Do you really want to hold off for the Dr. Boom?
I think you definitely innovate something here, because you can always just play Shade or Swipe next turn, depending if he plays Muster. And then you've got your turn 4 play lined up, and then you've got your turn 5 play
I suppose he might be afraid of Coin True Silver, if he innovates Druid the Claw. So maybe Lotheb's worth it to lock out the Muster.
But I guess you kind of want him to play Muster if you do go for the Innovate, because you want to be able to swipe on turn 4. But it makes no difference here. I guess he wants to innovate a Dr. Boom.
Or now do you innovate Hero Power into Swipe?
Ah, that is
play the board
too. Keep that Shade nice.
Because next turn you still go 5. You can go 5, 5, 6 instead of 5, 6, 7. So he's just swiping face. Okay, that's fine. I appreciate any attack that hits face.
And now he has Innovate Dr. Boom next turn. But Robin does find an equality, so he does have an answer. And this coin could come into use now, play a low feb. If he low febs now, he locks out that Dr. Boom play. If Roy wants to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be rough though, because I think you genuinely want to coin out the Series Challenger if you can, just because it has such an impact on the board.
But do you think Innovate Dr. Boom might change Robin's game plan? But I mean, Roy has a lot of decisions. He has 3 5-drops to choose from, and he can innovate the Dr. Boom. What do you like here?
I think Boom's just the play, isn't it? Like, what are you saving Innovate for? The problem now is that if you hold off and hold off and hold off on the Innovate, then its value becomes less and less and less. Yes, you can Innovate out with Double Savage or Force of Nature, but one, he doesn't have any of those cards. So I think you need to just play it now, get it on the board. I would have liked to have seen it earlier, to be honest, because he has all the 5-drops to fill in his curve. But playing it now, just get it on the board, and now suddenly the Paladin has to answer some quite the board state. And if he uses Equality, then his mana's only on 3, which is what's he really going to do with 3 mana? He would need to Equality, trade the minion to the Boom, trade face into 4/1, and then do something that sort of challenges the mini bot. So maybe another Muster.
I mean, he can challenge it here. I think maybe he can run his weapon into the 4/1, hit the Boom bot with his 2/3, play Mysterious Challenger, and then get those secrets rolling. But yeah, it's definitely good to use the Innovate on the Dr. Boom. I was thinking he could have just played low feb and locked out the coin if he thinks the Challenger is coming, but I think Boom's just such a stronger play.
Yep. Let's see what he decides to do. This is kind of a tough one. Maybe you do just play Challenger. Oh, he's going for the Equality.
I don't like Equality, it just feels too slow.
Yeah, because now the Druid's got the advantage again, and what's important as well is he can use the boom bots to test the trap. or the secret, should I say? Too much hunter in me. To test the secret. So he can use Boombox to do that, and then play what he wants. Once he works out what the secret is. So he knows it's not redemption. He knows it's not noble sacrifice. It is almost certainly avenge. And yeah, Lotheb's gonna. Is Lotheb nice?
I think Lotheb's fine.
Yeah, Lotheb's fine.
You don't need a Druid of Claw just yet, and you can save the Drake for 7, so you can Drake Wrath if you need to do that.
Yep, this is fine. And you might want the Druid of Claw to charge as well. So.
And now he plays Challenger. A bit more safely. Full Christmas tree coming down. But we already had the Avenge played.
So he can Hero Power, proc all the secrets, and then do Druid of the Claw charge if he wants.
Force of Nature, interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of like that then. If you so, hang on, let me think. 4, 9. Oh, it's going to be 1 mana off either way, I think. But if he attacks in, then Druid of the Claw charge, and then just go face with Lotheb and ignore the 6/6 because he's not going to die next turn, right? Then he has Force of Nature next turn to end Hero Power again. So push for the final damage.
Yeah, I think you can pretty much ignore this at the moment because the Paladin doesn't have the burst. It will probably respond with the Sludge Belcher if he does go for the more aggressive play, and this makes Repentance less effective as well with the charge.
Yep, you're getting the attack, and now suddenly the Paladin either has to heal up or put a big taunt up. He does have Belcher, so we will probably see Belcher. But he needs to Belcher and deal with all the minions because we can see a Keep of the Grove in hand.
So Belcher here will protect him. He can actually run the 3/2 into the 4/1 and then the 10/9 into the 5/5, making that Belcher nice and safe. But an Innovate would end this game. Turn 10 ends this game. Oh, Lotheb is another option as well.
So you can still put him to 1.
Double Keeper kills him as well.
Put him to a 1 with Lotheb, though. Okay.
Lotheb would have been better on 9, right? The lock out the combo completely. Play Belcher now, then play Lotheb on 9, and then he's got no combo.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really try and play around Innovate combo because, if he's got it, he's got it. It's one of those situations. So what he wants to do now is he's weighing up. I don't actually mind Azure Drake 15, 16. You're probably not going to die next turn. You are open to Blessing of Kings, True Silver, but Azure Drake into like Hero Power should be fine because then you have Keep of the Grove and Living Roots to face for 4.
Yeah, that's going to be enough. Just kind of hold off here, kill the 1/1 with your Hero Power as well. Oh, BGH, very nice.
Or you can just Drake into BGH and like 100% win the game. Oh, the shake of the head from Robin there. It is a little bit rough. There's like a small chance you can battle your way out of the match, and then like they just draw BGH. So.
And then he's going to be able to finish him with the ping from the Keeper and the Living Roots. So Sludge Belcher's not even going to do anything. So yeah, he actually needed that Lotheb last turn because he would have just died, right? So if he had played Belcher, he would have lost.
Yep, he would have lost, but yeah.
It was a losing situation regardless, right?
Yep, still pretty rough.
Bok is going to help him clear the board. Just goes to the 5 damage here, so can just silence now. And hide the Living Roots if he doesn't want to reveal it.
I think you just YOLO Living Roots to face for swag.
And he has combo. He just has everything.
Yeah, to sum up, he probably has enough damage to win.
And there we go. So Roy, again, is going to take another victory here. 4-2, moving into the finals, or the winners' finals, where you'll have an opportunity to go into the grand finals in...
Yeah,